It's romantic. Where's going on?
Same.
Yes.
Oh, elephant. Does look like there is an elephant over on the right side there. So let's see if we can get a little bit closer. If you do happen to catch a glimpse of this ear shape here, it is kind of shaped like the continent of Africa. And conveniently enough, these are the African elephant.
Wow.
Wow.
Great.
Can you see it closer? Now, I can't guarantee it. However, outside of this area here, there may potentially be another opportunity for us to find even more elephant coming up ahead. For visitor if they're one of their favorite hangout spots. So typically what we like to keep our eyes open for along the way is any tusk marking. If we see that, it is going to increase our chances of finding those elephants just a little bit more, because that's at least indicating to us that they've been in the area pretty recently. So make sure that's something you're starting to keep your eye open for. We'll be over that area very soon, and hopefully we'll have luck with more elephant activity.
The guys, because I've just here questions. Not holding.
Head.
On the back of the pickups. This is bad.
Yeah, so based off what I'm already starting to see on both sides of this claim here, that does look like some elephant tusk marks to me. So it is a great sign we're at least headed in the right direction here. If I'm not mistaken, it looks like there might be some activity coming up ahead of here, so maybe that's the ones that did it. We're gonna go check that out. Of course, we know, as we were just talking about, they do use those tusks to break the clay off of the wall, but then what do they do with it after that? Well, there's a couple different things in it. For one, they could eat it. That's going to provide them with vitamins, minerals, and nutrients they could potentially lack inside of those diets. Or for two, and this is something a lot of people get mixed up about elephants, their skin is not super tough. It is very, very sensitive, actually, so they have to come up with a way to keep themselves cool and protected. A really great way that they'll do that, they take whatever they have at their disposal inside of those trunks. So it could be things like that clay, sand, water, or mud, and they'll fling it right onto their back. There's a robot. No, stop. Now it's just inside an elephant trunk alone. That's over 40,000 buckles or more. And then something else they do to stay nice and cool is they'll either open or flap those gears back and forth. And that is going to create somewhat of a fanning motion for them. However, it's also going to help regulate body temperature and cool them down by about 15 degrees or so.
Here's that. That's pretty good.
I agree.
Get by the gills.
Look at them.
On. You see?
There's a little bit more of a pink toned friend here that you're also probably going to recognize. These are going to be greater Flamingo. They don't hatch with that pink color. That color's going to hold their diet that consists of olives and other small crawfish-like creatures that contain a protein called beta-carotene. All that means is the more they eat, the pinker in color they appear over time. We do know the process could take upwards of about 2 years because they're a lot more gray and a little fluffier at first. Now, speaking of gray, we are circling into the last and final stop on the Savanna portion of the reserve, and there are 2 female ostrich right up ahead here. They're coming up on your left side.
I've ever seen.
Now, we do know they're female because females have that light grayness on their feathers. The males are going to be pretty dark and not black tone. But does also mean if you ever find any ostrich eggs out here, those will always be unfertilized.
Fun.
So we may get to find more ostrich again here later on. However, this is also a pretty popular hangout spot for white rhino typically. They're going to create these mud wallows you see out in the middle here. That's where the ground kind of dips into that pit with the water in it. They dig that out with the horn, and then they're going to roll around in that mud and use it as a personal sunblock or even a bug repellent, very similar to the same way the elephant does, flicking the mud on their backs with trunks. So we'll keep our eyes open. They shouldn't be too far.